Hey, what is going on, you guys? It is Mr. No Sleep here from Old School RuneScape, and welcome to a brand new loot video for you all today. So today I bring you guys loot from 10 hours of medium clue scrolls. Obtaining these clue scrolls by opening up eclectic implings, the goal for this video is to obtain ranger boots, or multiple ranger boots, as well as finish the collection log, which I only need 5 slots left overall for the medium clue scrolls, and hopefully get some master clues along the way as well. This was a pretty repetitive 10-hour grind, but I must say I enjoyed every second, and I'm really hoping that I'll see ranger boots in this video. I know they've gone down in price recently, but they are still over 30 mil to this current point in time. So with all of that being said, before we get started, we do have some quick words from our sponsor today, Warhammer Chaos and Conquest. Chaos and Conquest is the ultimate strategy and domination MMO mobile game, available in iOS, Android, and Windows. Download it by clicking the link in the description or by scanning the QR code on screen now. In this game, you can set up your army, level up and upgrade your warlords with special equipment and skills, and dominate the Warhammer universe. To achieve domination in the universe, you will need to find true allies, join forces, and take over the old world. The alliances will offer protection to your citadel, speed up your constructions, and help you to receive additional benefits. The mission in this game is for you to bring chaos in the old world. For you to succeed, you will need to devote to the chaos gods. You can complete the battle and defensive rituals so you can boost your attack and defense. You can also participate in side quests, special events, and daily challenges. Conquer other chaos armies and slay your enemies and claim all the rewards. My personal favorite being all the side quests and the daily challenges. I also love the graphics of this game. It really does bring it to life. So the real question is, what are you waiting for? Engage in the realm battle and feel the taste of the real-time strategy MMO experience. Climb the leaderboard and claim the Chaos Legion Master title and become the Ever Chosen. Once again, you can download this game by clicking the link in the top of the description or by scanning the QR code, and you will discover Warhammer, Chaos, and Conquest. And a big shout out to Warhammer for sponsoring today's video. Alright, getting back into the video, ladies and gentlemen, here we are collecting all these caskets. I am curious to see how many I will reach by the end of the video. To make this one a little more interesting, we will be opening the caskets in increments of 10 every time. This will allow me to see some potential profit early on, or maybe see nothing but bad luck, and hopefully at the end we will see what we are looking for, and that of course is the ranger boots. Now my gear choice for this video was just a set of full graceful, a max cape, a Rada's blessing, dragon claws with a blood fury, and of course a ring of endurance. I don't think I sipped a stamina potion the whole time while doing this grind. I know that I brought them out a couple of times, but they really weren't necessary when I was using that gear, and I can just give credit mainly to the Ring of Endurance for that. But even without those items, I was constantly teleporting to my POH using my Portal Nexus, as well as my jewelry box to reach certain clue scroll locations, so my pool was always restoring my run energy no matter what, probably every step or every clue scroll at least. I also completed all the master clue scrolls that I received during this 10-hour grind, so that's where my dragon claws would come in handy, as well as certain clue scroll steps for the medium clues, where you are asked to kill a pirate, a wizard, a chicken, a barbarian, a man. I mean, the list goes on, but these monsters drop keys in order to complete the step for that clue, so one swift claw spec, and that was always taken care of quickly. So I do have a little bit of history with medium clues. To this day, one of my most viewed videos, and a video that continues to get thousands of views every month, is loot from 1,000 medium clue scrolls. I did this a few years back, and I think it's like a 42-minute, 42-second video. It's worth every second to watch it if you haven't seen it yet, but here in this video, you have a grind that's simplified into an hour increment rather than an overall amount. I know I tend to do the same type of content, just in different ways, but I do think it's cool to see the difference between what you can make in 10 hours versus what might take 100 hours or, 1,000 kills or 1,000 scrolls, whatever the content may be. During my last grind, though, I was lucky enough to receive multiple pairs of ranger boots, which is why you can see multiple on my collection log, and that did lead me to only having a handful of collection log pieces left for the overall medium clue scroll log. I think I only had about 5 when I came into this video, so hopefully by the end of this video we will have the log done completely, and maybe I can move on to a different tier clue and work on that over time in the next couple of weeks and months. I really haven't had much clue scroll luck in the last couple of years. I'm sure some of you can relate to that. You know, I think I hit Ranger Boots early on my Iron Man account, and on this account, I had pretty good luck when I first started, but it feels like I've been dry ever since. But I certainly got some nice nostalgia when I was working on this video, because when Old School RuneScape first came out, I was truly just a noob, cutting yew logs and doing wood cutting for my primary source of making money. But alongside that, I vividly remember killing guards and doing the level 2 clue scrolls that I obtained from them. This was back before eclectics were popularized. This was when, you could kill guards in Falador and they would drop medium clues, and that was kind of the main way to do it back in this time, 7 years ago. And that's also when the price of god cloaks and miters were truly in the millions, so this was a great source of quick cash for any lower level like myself at this time. Then you fast forward to all these years later, and the fact that eclectic implings are now the primary source of obtaining med clues, times have definitely changed. Seems like it's all about efficiency when it comes to doing these medium clues, and I certainly recommend you to look on YouTube around, medium clue scroll guides and whatnot, because that's when I really did stumble upon all of the max players that focus on these medium clues, and I learned about all the teleports that people use and truly the maximum efficiency way to do this and to get as many clues done per hour. Other than max players, I do see a lot of Iron Men and hardcore Iron Men accounts doing med clues. I would still like to think that the average noob does them too occasionally though, but Ranger Boots are definitely necessary for Iron Man accounts, and even though they're only at 30 mil, which is not too much for Ranger Boots, they have been much more than that in the last couple of months. They have gone down recently. But if you think about hitting one pair of Ranger Boots in a time span of 10 hours, that's 3 mil an hour no matter what. And even after supply costs, you can still be able to say that the profit was well worth it. And hitting more than one pair of Ranger Boots, then that would just skyrocket the hourly GP that you could make here. So yeah, needless to say, I had some pretty high expectations coming into this video, but we'll see what happens. Using a Book of the Dead for my Zeah related steps and using an Ardougne cloak for my church related steps definitely sped up the process for certain clue scroll steps I'd receive. Other steps required constant use of my fairy ring and my portal nexus, so it's extremely convenient to have access to these things if you're looking to grind medium clues long term or at least efficiently. I mean, I thought my count of 1300 med clues was decent, there's nothing to look down upon, but then I went to the highest scores just now as I'm voiceovering this video, and I realized that there's someone named Flash Voyage, who I'm sure I've mentioned in my video 2 years ago, but to this day this person has completed 155,000 medium clue scrolls. Yeah, that really says something considering rank 2 only has 69,000. Which is still a ton, but what a lead that rank 1 has. I truly wonder how many Ranger Boots he has received in all those clues. If anyone knows anything about Flash Voyage, that's the name of this person, make sure to leave a comment below. I'm very curious of the amount of Ranger Boots there. And while I was actually doing these medium clues on an unrelated note, I was constantly teleporting to Feldip Hills, and I would always notice these low-level 40s to 50s hunting red Chinchampas, and I would always look them up just by right-clicking them. Nice little feature on RuneLite, and I swear that they all had over 50 million to 100 million Hunter XP. So I guess that explains why red Chinchampas are so cheap these days, but I did find that fascinating that almost every time I was, in that location, I would see multiples of these bots. I don't think people bought clue scrolls though, that would be the first time for me to see someone using a medium clue scroll script, but you never know these days, Even banking at Edgeville dozens of times during this video, I'd always be looking up these lower level rune crafting accounts, and they all have over 50 million XP, so it's kind of hard to tell if these are bots or alternate accounts at that point. But getting back on topic here, of course, before the beginning of this video, I did have all the stash units built, and that saved a ton of time, so I definitely recommend to everyone to build all the tiers of stash units in one go. It'll probably take you 1 to 2 hours and a decent amount of GP, but you only have to do it once, and you never have to do it again after that, so it's really nice to get that out of the way. Alongside the stash units, one item that I did find useful for the observatory step was a mithril grapple. Instead of running through the long tunnel underneath to reach this location, I would just simply bring a rune crossbow with a myth grapple and just grapple my way to the top. And I would save myself at least 90 seconds, so that is definitely something to keep in mind. I would say the step that took me the longest would be the Crandor step, which is on top of Karamja Mountain, and also the steps involving the Soul Altar with the CIS fairy code. It is quite the run, but I would say that those are my only complaints. Every other step seemed to be just seconds away, just a teleport here and a quick run there, and there you go. As it goes for an hourly rate, because I know people really do care about that, especially with medium clues, I would say I was doing about 16 to 17 clues per hour. I mean, we'll definitely see by the end of the video how many I did in 10 hours time. Some people use different teleports and different layouts, so I do believe that you can do more than 17 an hour, but since I live streamed half of this and the other half I was on my Iron Man 4, I wasn't 100% full attention and efficiency, which really will affect your hourly rate when you do this grind. And as it goes for the master clues, they were certainly pretty uneventful during this video. I did get a couple at first, but then I started and, I just went extremely dry, and I haven't really seen one in dozens of clues. And luckily for me, I lost my torso 6 months ago, and to this day, I still haven't had a fighter torso master clue step, so very thankful for that. Fallow the Bard. And every item that I did receive from this medium clue scroll grind, as we are kind of slowly getting towards the end here, I did keep in one bank tab. RuneLite wasn't showing any of my loot, but then I discovered that I had to click show hidden things, and once I clicked that, all of my Impling loot and clue scroll casket loot did show, so I'm glad that I fixed that. But either way, it is all in one bank tab, so that's very nice. I do think since the release of Group Ironman, medium clues definitely became more popular since, so many new accounts needed ranger boots and they would have to obtain them themselves. Also, new monsters and bosses that require Pegasians to be worn would bring ranger boots in the spotlight, no doubt about it. So you can guarantee that the price will fluctuate through the year. Really just kind of depends on what's going on in game and if ranger boots is going to be useful for it. I certainly wish hard clues had something of that profit potential that ranger boots is for medium clues, but it seems like hard clues are really just good for masters and gilded pieces and third age pieces, which is just so astronomically rare. And I will say one thing that really helped out with this video is RuneLite. For me, for the longest time, for years, I didn't really think that using RuneLite was necessary, but of all things that made me convert to it was actually master clues. About 2 years ago, I just could not do the master clue without using RuneLite, so I gotta say the Clue Scroll plugin for all tiers of clues is extraordinarily useful, and I would recommend it for anyone and everyone because it will save you a lot of time, and let's be honest, time is valuable. Well, that is certainly not what I wanted to see, because we already got the climbing boots G, the wizard boots, and now we gotta add a pair of holy sandals to that boot collection, but unfortunately no ranger boots still. At this current point in time, we have this next batch of 4 medium clues, and then we have 10 more for a total of 169 done in a time span of 10 hours. Luckily, I was able to get a couple of the collection log pieces, but other than that, nothing really to say other than a very nice looking bank tab, pretty colorful in there, all the weird drops that you can get from these medium clue scrolls. We do have 250 Implings left out of the 5,000 that I purchased, and now that we're on the last batch of medium clues, it really does all come down to this, ladies and gentlemen. We get ranger boots, we make a ton of profit. If we do not get ranger boots, we will lose money, guaranteed. So, I'm really hoping for the best here. All I can say is it was nice to kind of get another collection log piece there. This time being the pink elegant blouse. And if we go ahead and we check our medium clue scrolls, it looks like we got 3 out of the 5 pieces to complete this log, and we only need 2 more. And hey, with 5 caskets left, I think we can get those other 2 and a pair of ranger boots and maybe another pair too, but don't get your hopes up too high. But either way, I'm still opening these caskets. I'm really hoping for the best here. I really do like how the bank tab has grown, though. I really tried to make it look nice for you guys, kind of organized it, matched everything with each other and whatnot. So all in all, though, it doesn't really look like we're getting lucky from this one, guys. 10 hours of medium clue scrolls. And what can I say? It kind of reminds me of the 10 hours of Cerberus videos outro, and that was better luck next time, Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't get lucky, ladies and gentlemen. That's what this game is all about. But hey, just take a look at that beautiful tab. We got all these boots, all these pages, all these blessings, these cloaks, these boaters, these helmets, these trimmed armor pieces, all of the eclectic loot as well. And if we're going to round down and be generous to ourselves, we spent about 19 mil for this video. So now we're going to go ahead and sell all of the Impling loot first. We'll see how much we make back from all of that. I mean, this is not that bad of drops. You're looking at adamant ore and battle staves, blue d'hide, as well as rune daggers, decent amount of alkables, as well as the impling jars themselves, which do add up to be quite a bit of money, so we're going to sell all of that. And we're also going to go ahead and sell those 252 eclectic implings back into the Grand Exchange, and it looks like overall, from the 19 mil that we spent on the implings, we did receive 7.3 mil back. And that is 100% accurate, so yeah, not the best. But now we're going to go ahead and sell all of the Clue Scroll loot. A lot of these items, they look cool, they look expensive, but they're unfortunately the complete opposite. I was actually trying to sell a Mithril plate body trimmed and an adamant square shield G, which I think looks awesome personally, but they wouldn't even sell for 1 GP. So what does it come to at this point, right? So we're just going to continue to sell these things. Most of these pages from these god books, just like I mentioned before about the price of miters and cloaks being so much money back in the day, they have, stumbled in price too over the years. They're just really not needed for anything. I think Jagex could definitely look into that. Maybe make the god book an offensive mage weapon or something and use these pages similar to Tome of Fire, but that's just my idea, And overall, after we did sell everything, the overall amount of money comes out to be 12.2 million. So it's about 7 mil lost in 10 hours time. Had we gotten range boots, we would have been able to say that we made over 2 mil profit per hour in this 10-hour video. The thing is, guys, on my very next casket, I could get them. So, it just really depends on your luck. Or I could go another 200 dry and, lose more money. So overall, better luck next time. 2 more slots to complete the medium Clue Scroll log. We'll definitely get that done soon. And another big shout out to Warhammer, Chaos, and Conquest for sponsoring today's video. Make sure to check them out in the description below. That QR code is on screen once again as well. It does help out the channel quite a bit, so big shout out to them, and a big shout out to you guys for the continued support. Thank you guys very much, and I will see you next time, and until then, Mr. No Sleep out.